Guys, number one, I'm like, I don't know how this happened, but I just recorded all of this information, right? And hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, okay. I just recorded all of this information, and for some reason it didn't save. So that's number one. I don't know. Anyway, and now I'm like really anxious because I want to make sure that this is on the Trinae Music. Do me a favor. What does it say this is showing up under? Does it say it's showing up under Darby is King? Just like put a thumbs up if it say Darby is King. Please, bro. Help me out. If it say Darby is King, what's that? Trinae's Music. Do me a favor. If it's showing up that this stream is under Darby is King, put a thumbs up for me. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. So we good to go. Listen, if you stick around, my friend, you're going to love what I'm talking about. And the reason I asked you to do this because I got 3 different IGs, so I wanted to make sure it was on the right one. But I'm talking about the mind, and it'll be great if you stuck around. It'll probably be like 10, 15 minutes. Like I said, thank you, G. I'm looking at it. Anyway, I don't know you because I hadn't, or maybe I do, I just hadn't clicked on it and I don't want to mess it up, as you can tell, which is why I needed your help. But I promise you, my friend, you'll need this. Again, talking about the mind. And I did this for you. I did this for everybody you know. I did this for myself. And I see how I can help people with this. So, yeah, if you like it or if you share it to somebody, just DM it to a friend real quick. That'll be great. Again, we're talking about how to control your mind in 2020. All right. So we'll jump right into it. Welcome, guys. On this stream, I'll be talking about a lot. I won't just be talking about the mind. But to understand anything that I'm going to be talking to you about, then you definitely need to understand how to control your mind and how valuable it is. It is nothing I can talk about right now that you first, hold on, I'm trying to see. Yeah, I'm put the hat back on. I look better with the hat. Anyway, it's nothing I'm talking about that you can understand if you don't first understand the mind. So let's jump right into it. How to control the mind. Now, this live stream is heavily based. Hold on, let me make sure. I want to make sure I don't have any interruptions. This live stream is heavily based on Dr. Joe Penza's lecture on the mind. And I really found it intriguing. So what I did was I compiled some notes. And now I'm gonna go into it. So look, my friend, my new friend, put another thumb up if you still on, because it's saying that you're on, but I don't know if you actually are. And I'm about to get into it right now. We're about to talk about how to control the mind. All right. So number one, what are habits? Because habits are definitely in our mind. Habits make up who we are, right? So what are habits? Habits are subconscious. Let me hear myself, the feedback too, because I'm recording this on my computer. Thanks, dog. All right, cool. Glad you got your notebook. All right, so let's jump into it. So what are habits? Habits are automatic, subconscious, and emotional responses, right? Habits are the circuitry and repetition in our brain of a familiar past. Habits is the circuitry and repetition in our brain of a familiar past. Habits are a redundant set of automatic, subconscious thoughts, behaviors, and emotions that are acquired through repetition. A habit is when you've done something so many times that your body does it subconsciously. A habit is when you've done something so many times that your body does it subconsciously. So in order to act out this exercise, let's think real quick. And I'm watching my son in the pool, but I need to keep my eye on him, as you guys can understand. Don't need to go to jail over neglect when I'm trying to teach people about the mind, because I'm not watching my child. So I'm definitely watching him, and he's doing great. So what do you do in the morning, right? Do you think about your problems? Because now we're about to jump into the routine that everybody does in the morning. So you're going to want to stick around for this, my friend. All right. So what do you do in the morning? Do you think about your problems, right? Problems are circuits, memories in the brain. They are connected to people, places, and events. Problems are circuits running through your brain, and they're connected to people, places, and events. Okay? So with our brain, what does it do? It stores memories, right? So the brain is a record, it's an encyclopedia, it's a library of the past. The brain is a library of the past. So the moment you start to recall certain memories, all right? So if the brain records the past, you start thinking in the past. If you're thinking with your brain based off the events that you've been through, you're thinking in the past. You're living in the past. So the moment you recall these memories, you feel unhappy, you feel sad, you feel pain. So how you think creates your state of being. Remember that. How you think creates your state of being. Certain emotions can make you, hey, you just joined. I appreciate that. Share it to a friend, please. Like DM it to one person. If you could DM it to one person, that'd be awesome, because I want to talk to you guys about more pertinent topics, more really deep, red pill topics. But we can't get there if we don't know how to deal with it and control our brain. That's number one. All right. So certain emotions make you feel guilty, and they make you feel disconnected. Certain emotions make you feel guilty and disconnected. And remember, how we think creates our state of being. But if you can't think greater than what you feel, you will inevitably recreate events of the past. If you can't think greater than what you feel, you're going to be recreating events of the past. So then you think about it. All right, I'm feeling disconnected. I'm having thoughts of the past, and I'm feeling disconnected. I'm feeling tormented. I'm feeling troubled. You know, I have anxiety. I'm going through all these different things. So what do you automatically do? You pick up your phone. I got to go see what folks doing on the gram. Let me check Facebook. The friends I go to the club and split, a section with. Let me see what they doing. Oh, I feel reconnected again. I remember who I am. Oh, wait a minute. Well, remember, if feelings become your means of thinking and emotions are memories in the past, by definition, you're living in the past. And not all events of the past are healthy for you. But bigger than that, we're dealing with reconnected, feeling connected. Reconnected, feeling connected. Feeling reconnected, doing something to feel reconnected. So what are we doing? What are we doing? Well, we've now developed a series of routine behaviors. Whether it's through preparedness, so how we're getting dressed, the coffee, the line that we sit in, and the things that and what we wait on at Starbucks, or going to the cleaners, preparedness, social. Hey, Rick, how you been? Hit that like. Oh, man, I feel so great that I got your like. Oh, so you got the social aspect, and then travel. Do you remember how many stop signs you stopped at this morning on your way to work? Nah, pretty sure you don't. So these become subconscious. These routine cycles can become a subconscious program in our mind, like the computer, like the software on our phone. It knows what to do. Every time you click something, it knows you take it down a different path. Your phone will know how to respond, right? Why? Because it's a computer software does now. Now it's acting like a software, right? So social media makes us feel connected to what is known in our lives, right? Social media makes us, Tim, what's up, bro? We got to hang out. Social media makes us feel connected for what we know in our lives. So you don't want to lose your free will to a subconscious program based off feeling connected. Yo, what's up, bro? You don't want to, all right, if social media makes us feel reconnected, we don't want to lose our free will to subconscious thinking and program thinking, right? So the familiar past will become the predictable future if we do that. If we constantly feel disconnected and seek things to make us feel reconnected, I already know you're going to check the gram. Your iPhone might tell you, hey, you want to check Instagram this morning? Because it has those like predicted responses of what it thinks you'll be doing. You're being predicted. You're being predicted when your actions are being predicted when you're dealing with advertisement, when you're dealing with social media marketing, any type of marketing, any type of programs and software, you're constantly being watched and predicted. So Valerie, what's going on, girl? So you have to watch what you're allowing yourself to be predicted to. So again, we feel disconnected, then we do something to seek reconnection. We're thinking in the past and we're trying to feel better about the past by doing things that are our previous events. So we're losing our free will and our conscious thinking to subconscious thinking. We're losing our free will to conscious and conscious thinking to subconscious thinking. Henceforth, making the familiar past a predictable future, which is what you got to be careful of. So friends, again, we'll summarize this slide. We'll move on to the next one. Friends, co-workers, and family. Hey, if you're joining this, send it to somebody you know. Just DM it to one quick random person. We're going to get the message out. But anyway, friends, co-workers, families, others considered fellowship. They make us feel connected, whether we're speaking to them in person or using social media, and they push certain emotional buttons. So that's external happiness. That's external happiness governing our lives, right? All right. So what is that doing? If we do this day in, day out, that becomes redundant subconscious behavior. That becomes redundant subconscious behavior. So redundancy of the cycle becomes the subconscious program when it becomes time to change. So when it comes time to change, the redundancy of the cycle becomes the subconscious program. So to put this in words, you've been smoking every single day. Oh yeah, I need my smoke. Then you want to change. You tell yourself with your conscious mind, I want to change. But your subconscious body, your thoughts, your cravings, they have become the program. And now it's hard for you to change. Whether it's emotional, physical, spiritual, whatever it is, it's hard for you to change. So think about this, and this is a scary but true statistic. And if you guys really like this, what I'll do is just DM me real quick and say, hey, I don't have time to really watch all of this, but I like where you're going, and send it to me. And I will definitely send you like a PDF version of this PowerPoint, because for some reason it's not letting me share my screen with you guys. And I had it set up, but it'll keep pushing it off if I don't just go ahead and get this message out. Again, and finally, we have to talk about the mind before we talk about any of these other topics. Before you understand anything going on in this world, you have to understand what's going on with yourself first. So 95% of who we are by the time we're 35 years old is a memorized set of behaviors, emotional reactions, subconscious habits, hardwired attitudes, beliefs, and perceptions that function like a computer program. 95% of who we are is memorized set of behaviors by the time we're 35, guys. You have to wake up. So now you say, I want to be happy, but the subconscious mind, the body, the subconscious mind is already programmed. It's already programmed, right? So when we deal with these redundant set of routines, they become subconscious. Once they become subconscious, they function like a program. I'm about to log and check your email. No, you just get the notification and boom, now you're good to go. Yo, what's up? Glad you joined. Share it to somebody you know, like it, send it out so we can get more people watching. So anyway, so now this is my favorite part. And if you just joined, don't go anywhere, because this is the best part. You need to know this. When it comes to who you are and what you're dealing with on a daily basis in life, you have to ask yourself, are you learning from a state of pain and suffering, or are you learning from a state of joy and inspiration? If you're watching this video, do me a favor and just thumb it up real quick so I can see who all is attending, because IG is saying like I have 4 people. It's showing me 6 people attending, but it's saying I only have 2. So I'm trying to really gauge these numbers to see what I can do on the next stream. So right now we need to talk about waiting for addiction, right? Waiting for an addiction to trauma. Not waiting for addiction, but waiting for your addiction to trauma. Again, you can learn and change in a state of pain and suffering, or you can learn and change in the state of joy of inspiration. Real quick, come on, listen to me, guys. If y'all watching this video, do me a quick favor and thumb it up so I can see how many folks is watching it, so I can track this better. So The biggest thing to realize is you don't need to wait for crisis or trauma to change. You don't need to wait for crisis or trauma to change, right? You don't want to experience this trauma, right? Because remember, if the brain is a record book of the past experiences, it's thinking about this trauma and this pain, and it's rehearsing it. You know why? Because the brain does not know the difference. If I slap you in your face, and you think about the last time I slapped you in your face, the brain doesn't know the difference between whether it's being smacked or not in the current time. But you still remember that hot, beady feeling on your face after you got slapped. It's the same wiring, right? So the stronger the emotional reaction, the higher the emotional quota. The higher the emotional quota, right? So if you think of it like a tolerance level, when you're dealing with trauma, right? So if you drink a lot, right? One little beer might not get you messed up, but you might have that limit of those 5 beers. You might, let me get to that 5. Let me get to that 5. Let me get to that 5, because you're used to the 5, right? So you think about these people, these places, these events, these things that cause this emotional barriers, this emotional trauma that you experience in your life. You think about that. You can form an addiction to it. How many of us, put a thumbs up if you have or wave or whatever the thing is called. If you have or was addicted to a person that you know was not good for you. If you have lioness mentality, I love it. Yo, you in the right spot, lioness mentality. So we're talking about the mind right now. But anyway, put a thumbs up, wave, do whatever. Put an emoji. If you were or are addicted to a person that has given you a sense of trauma, like, and you're waiting for them to put you through some more trauma. Thank y'all so much. And you're waiting for them to put you through something else to experience negatively, right? So when we experience the trauma, a lot of us like to rehearse it. And I use rehearse carefully because rehearsing is something that you're putting yourself through. It's not an event, a random event. It's a rehearsal. You're putting yourself through that. So the stronger the emotional reaction, again, the higher emotional quota. You have to reach that quota. It's not just, you want to get back up to here. These same wiring, firing through your brain that makes you feel like, I feel it. I feel it right now. You want to feel that. You want to explain yourself. So the moment now check this out. Waiting and wanting them to change, but it won't happen. Exactly. Now check this out though. The moment the brain places all of its neurological attention on your current emotion, it takes a snapshot and call it a memory. The moment the brain places all of its neurological focus on this current emotion, it takes a snapshot and it stores it as a memory. So think about certain things that really you stored as memories because of the emotional connections, whether positive or negative, that you had to it. Whether it was last holiday season, right? Whether it's you, where were you when COVID started? Or 9/11? Or when you bought your first car, do you remember the smell? Holding your child for the first time, were you crying? You remember these things? Why? Because your brain was facing all of this neurological attention on the current emotion. It took a snapshot and called it a memory. So check this out. If the brain does that, then long-term memories are created from highly emotional experiences. Long-term memories are created from highly emotional snapshots. For long-term memory, not short-term, long-term memory, right? So you think neurologically within the circuitry of the experiences, and you feel chemically within the boundaries of that emotions. You think neurologically in the circuitry of the experiences, and you feel chemically within the boundaries of these emotions. So now we're about to talk about controlling emotions, right? And I'm going to run through these because I respect y'all. I respect y'all time. And I hope y'all come back again. I'm not the type of person that's gonna BS with you and waste your time. So I hope you can really take away from this. So I'm gonna peel through these, and I'm gonna make sure that you're able to retain what I'm talking about. So now we're about to talk about controlling the emotions, and I'm about to blow your mind. So check this out. We're about to talk about refractory periods. If you know what a refractory period is, put a heart. Put a heart if you know what a refractory period is. Now we're about to get into it, and I'm about to explain what a refractory period is. So a refractory period, and we all deal with this. You'll have a refractory period today. You had one yesterday. You've been having one since you've been on this earth. But anyway, a refractory period is a time period of you having an emotional reaction to someone or something. Yo, thanks for joining. Hey, do me a favor, love. Send it to somebody you know. Just click that little share button and then send it to the first person that pop out and tell them to do the same thing. And say, emotional reaction to someone or something is called a refractory period. Why is that important? I'm about to tell you. Because a refractory period that lasts hours or days, guess what that's called? A mood. A refractory period that lasts hours or days is called a mood. Yo, again, it sounds like I got like 7 people watching, but it's saying only one person is watching. List the people watching. Just put me a thumbs up real quick so I can make sure I'm tracking these numbers right. All right, so a refractory period that lasts hours or days is called a mood. So you ask someone, why are you in a mood? Well, something happened to me 5 days ago, and really they're telling you, I'm having one long emotional reaction to it. I'm having one long emotional refractory period. Okay, well then you take that mood, which is again hours or days of a reaction to someone or something. Yo, I'm so glad you're still here, love. All right, so temperament would then be keeping the same emotion. And I knew you would like this mentality, Linus mentality, because just based off your username, I think you'll really love this. So now I know you hear again, refractory period is a time period that you have a reaction to someone or something. And when it lasts for hours and days, that's called a mood. Now, when it lasts for months, it's called a temperament. When it lasts for months, it's called a temperament. So when you keep the same emotional reaction for weeks and months, it becomes a temperament, guys. You know, so then you ask, well, why are you so bitter, Tom? Why are you so bitter, Darby? Oh, I'm bitter because of something that happened to me 9 months ago. Ugh. So now I'm mad about something that happened to me 9 months ago. Meanwhile, I'm developing a temperament for myself. Meanwhile, I'm changing my temperament. Again, you will not understand anything I'm talking about on this stream, on anything I got going on in the future. What does it say? I learned about this in psychology, but I've forgotten so much. Yo, it just is what it is. So then you say, why are you so bitter? And they tell you, oh, well, this is something that happened to me 9 months ago. So now that's a temperament. So they develop a temperament based off an experience from months ago. So then you think about, okay, that took your refractory period or your emotional response to something or someone or something, and you took it outside of a mood, which is a refractory period that lasts hours or days, and then you made a temperament of yourself, which is something that lasts months. You formed a temperament around this life that you've allowed power to be with someone else. Yo, if y'all can, just send this video to someone else and like it real quick so we can beat this little notification thing and get the notifications out to everybody. But again, so I'm gonna breeze through this one more time. It's 4 little topics that people keep coming in. Refractory period is the time period that you have an emotional reaction. When it lasts for hours or days, it's called a mood. When it lasts for months, it's called a temperament. And when it lasts for years, it's called a personality trait. I, for one, do not... Yo, Corey, what's up, bro? Send it to somebody else, man. Like it for me. I, for one, do not want anyone else controlling my personality traits. I, for one, do not want anyone else controlling my mood or controlling my refractory periods or my temperament. You got to stop. So keeping temperament going on for years is called personality trait. So we got to stop that. All right, so now we talked about controlling our emotions. We talked about subconsciousness. We talked about redundancy of what's going on. We talked about by the fact that by the time we're 35, we're nothing more than memorized set of behaviors, emotional reactions, subconscious habits, hardwired attitudes, belief systems, and perceptions that function like a computer system. We are functioning like a computer program. Our mind is the conscious mind. Our brain is the conscious mind. Our body is the subconscious mind. When you allow your conscious mind to feed so much information, so much negative information, you are hardwiring yourself to react in certain ways. You are hardwiring yourself to allow your subconscious mind to control your body. How many things, again, have you done subconsciously? How many times did you wipe your butt today? Do you know? No, because you subconsciously wipe it until it's clean, right? So we want to be more in control of our conscious mind than allowing our subconscious mind to rule our days. I want to know how many times I wipe mine. I'm playing with you. All right, so anyway, so the next side, conditioning the body into a state of fear. This is something you really need to pay attention to. Again, each time I go to these slides, I'm going to ask you guys, like the video, put a thumb up, and share it to someone. Just like send me a little emoji so I know who's all watching, and then share it. All right, so conditioning the body into a state of fear. We have to learn how to shorten our, yeah, I know, right? We have to learn how to shorten our refractory periods, because once we shorten our refractory periods, that can save our life, okay? So stress hormones are survival emotions. Stress hormones are survival emotions. Stress hormones are survival emotions. What do I mean by that? Okay, most people spend 70% of their life living in survival mode and living in stress mode. 70% of your life living in survival and stress mode? So what were the other percent? So 30%, 15% was what? You being an old man, not stressed about anything, and the other 15% you were an infant, and the rest of that you've been stressed out your whole life. So when you live in survival and stress mode, you're anticipating the worst case scenario based on past experiences. And out of the infinite potentials that you have, my friends, out of the infinite potentials that you have, you're selecting the worst possible outcome and emotionally embracing it with fear. After enough times of that, you know what your body does? It starts having panic attacks without you even knowing it. You'll think about, you start freaking out. You know why? Because your body is having a panic attack without you even knowing it. The body is developing unpredictable, subconscious panic attacks. Yo, love, hey, give me a thumbs up. Share it to somebody real quick so we can get this out. We're talking about the mind. I know you know somebody who letting somebody else run their life, run their day. And we got to stop that. We got to stop that internally, and we got to help each other. You won't understand anything I'm talking about deep state. I'm talking about vaccines. I'm talking about New World Order. I'm talking about all these different things, and you won't understand anything I'm talking about if you don't understand your mind first. So help me help other people understand their mind. Just share the video real quick. I'm going to keep this live stream on my IG too, so you can send it to anybody you want to when I'm done. So again, out of the infinite possibilities, potentials, you're selecting the worst possible outcome and emotionally embracing it with fear. Enough times the body will unpredictably develop and display subconscious panic attacks. And you'll just be responding to a panic attack, and your family, friends, hey, calm down, calm down. We all have panic attacks. I have panic attacks a lot, but I do know that they're subconscious. I can't control them. What I can do is fire and rewire circuitry in my brain to heal myself. What I can do is rewire my brain to heal myself. So then you ask someone, why are you this way? Why are you keep freaking out, man? Calm down. And then they'll tell you, oh, because of events that took place years ago. You know, I had this problem and I just ain't been able to get over to it. And every time I even think about something remotely close, oh my goodness. Well, that's not healthy for you. So this means biologically that you have not been able to change since that event. This means biologically you have not been able to change since the event that made you feel that way. So those emotions give you a rush of energy so that you feel something at all. A lot of people aren't feeling things right now. A lot of people don't know what to feel. And they'd rather return to something very familiar to feel something at all. So now you're addicted to your emotions using problems to reaffirm your limitations. Now you're addicted to your emotions using problems to reaffirm your limitations. Every time you recall an event, you produce the same chemistry to the body as if the event is occurring. Every time you recall an event, you produce the same chemistry to the body as if the event is recurring. Give me a light or a heart if you agree with that. So the body is believing then. The body is then believing then, right? This light went out. I can't believe this light went out. Oh man, goodness. All right, we're gonna thug it out. I got it back on. So anyway, the body is believing, right? So, what was the next thing I was saying? I'm sorry, the light went out. Yo, who? All right, Destiny, come on, girl. I need you to like the video. I need you to send me some love in the comment section, and I need you to send it out to your friend, homegirl. I got my homegirl Destiny in the chat right now. That's dope. All right, so again, Destiny, now you missed like the first 6 slides. So we're talking about the mind. We were talking about habits. You can go back and watch what we were talking about with habits. Then we were talking about why we feel reconnected and how these habits push us in the way to feeling reconnected by reaching out to others and reaching out to external forces for internal happiness. So we were talking about that. And then, hold on one second. And then we were talking about, a few other things. So we'll skip over to it because she was late. We ain't got nothing to do with that. So fire and wire in the same circuitry, right? So the hardest part about change is not doing the same thing that you did before. The hardest part about change is not doing the same thing that you did before. Redundancy of the body becomes the mind. Redundancy of the body becomes the mind. The body will fight and influence the mind. It'll say things like, oh, start tomorrow. Oh man, you're not perfect. I can't deal with this right now, bro. You're not perfect. Start tomorrow. You too much like your family. Your friends love you the way you are. And you too young to really, take control of your life right now. I need you to go sit down real quick. Let's go home. So when you decide to step into the river of change, your body starts to fight you. Remember, the body is believing. The body is believing now that you're making the wrong decision. Because subconsciously, you've been doing this for too long. So now that you want to change, the body is like, I'm not with that. I'm not with that. I believe what you're doing is wrong. So subconsciously, you are telling your conscious mind that what you are doing is wrong, and what you are doing is actually the best thing for you. You need that change. You need that change back in your life, right? So when you decide to step into the river of change, the body will fight you. So it doesn't know, the body is believing again. It doesn't know the past from the present because the body is a subconscious mind. Thoughts run like programs. Remember, we said that. Thoughts run like programs. The body is believing and experiencing. You want to make a change, and the body wants you to return back to a familiar territory. You now want to change. You want to stop smoking. You want to do more. You want to work out, and your body wants to return to a familiar territory, right? Conscious, subconscious. Subconsciously return to familiar territory. Consciously, you want change. Hold on, yo. Yeah, I've been around a whole bunch of people, so I got a whole bunch of accents. I do say yo randomly like I'm from New York, I know. But hold on, yo. All right, so now I like that better. All right, so then back to it then, right? So we're on slide 8. We're almost done. Hey, yo, my music friend, thank you for rocking with me. I really do appreciate it. I hope we get to know each other. I hope you like what I continue to put out. I'm gonna run through these slides and then I gotta go get my son from the poolside. All right. And so, fight and prime the brain. Your entire state of being is in the past. We spoke about that. Your entire state of being is in the past. The moment you decide to change, be prepared because it's gonna feel uncomfortable. It will feel uncomfortable. Most people are constantly reaffirming their emotional state, firing and wiring the same neurons through the brain. And you continue to fire and wire these same circuits, they become hardwired if you continue to do it. And you have a thought, and the thought runs like a program. We spoke about that. Now, emotions of your thoughts. That's important, right? So when we want to fight and prime the brain, emotions of your thoughts are important. Emotions follow thought of what you are wiring. So if you have a fearful thought, you will feel anxiety. The moment you feel anxiety, your brain will check in with your body. So your conscious mind will check in with your subconscious mind and say, yeah, man, this is not a good idea. Let's get up out of here. Let's go home. So you'll continue to think similar thoughts about how you feel. You gotta watch that. You'll continue to think similar thoughts about how you feel. You gotta watch that. So redundancy will be the next thing then, right? So if we're firing and wiring, what we're firing and wiring, right, throughout our brain, throughout our conscious mind, and it trickling down and affecting our subconscious mind, what we're wiring, then the redundancy sets in of what we're wiring, right? So the redundancy of this cycle conditions the body to become the mind. So once you decide to really take the first step of change, all of a sudden, you don't feel the same way anymore. All of a sudden, the body fights the mind, right? So the body becomes the mind, right? The body becomes the mind when it's in the state of unknown. The body wants to return back to a familiar place. We already spoke about that. It will even make you feel guilty, shameful, blaming others. Anything it can do sick. Anything it can do to influence you to return back to that familiar territory. Your body ain't your friend, man. Your body wants to be your friend, but it ain't your friend. Your mind is your friend. Your body is weak. Your flesh is weak. So many religions consider flesh to be weak. So many. The flesh is weak, bro. All right? So we spoke about that. We want to return to familiar territory. Now, we spoke about all the problems. Let's hop into 2 last slides. We're going to talk about the solution and we're going to get out of here. We're going to enjoy the rest of our day. All right? So now we need to rehearse the actions of what we want. Now we need to rehearse the actions of what we want. Humans would rather feel guilt and suffering because at least they can predict it. We'd rather feel guilt and suffering because it's something we can predict, right? So being in the unknown is a really scary place for a lot of us. It doesn't mean it's impossible, but it's definitely scary for a lot of us, right? Because the unknown is uncertain. And the unknown cannot be predicted. You can't predict if you're going to be successful. You just up and leave your hometown and you go start a new life. But hey, you can learn. We spoke about that. You can learn in a state of inspiration. You can learn in a state of joy, or you can learn in a state of pain and suffering. So the best way to predict the future is to create it. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Not be predictable because of subconscious temperaments, moods, personality traits. The best way to predict the future is to create it. Not from the known, but the unknown. Take an island with sand, and you want to build a sand castle. You don't have any instructions on how to build one, and you're freaking out. Why? Why don't you just build it from the unknown? Why don't you use your creativity and build a life you dream of? So I want you guys to do this little short exercise with me, and then we're going to get out of here, right? Close your eyes and rehearse the actions of what you want. Start doing that tonight. But we're going to do it together real quick so we can know how to do it. Close your eyes and rehearse the action of what you want. What do I mean by that? Well, the brain doesn't know the difference between what you're imaging and what you're experiencing. The brain doesn't know the difference of what you are imagining and what you are experiencing. Okay? That's powerful, bro. You can't pay for that. So what thoughts do you want to wire in your brain? That's the next question. What thoughts do you want to wire? What behaviors would you like to demonstrate today, not tomorrow? Today. The brain will convert from records of the past to map the future. So instead of thinking about the past, the brain now converts from recording the past to mapping out the future because you took that power back. Yo, thanks so much for... Yo, my boy, the player entrepreneur, what's up, baby? I got to go back to LA and come visit you, man. I really tell you, I love your personality, bro, and what you and your girl doing. Y'all some real astute, fine black people, man. I love being around y'all, bro. Right now I'm talking about the mind. You got to go back to the beginning of the live stream and catch it, and possibly send it to Brooke and send it to somebody else, man. Tell her to do the same thing, bro. I'm trying to get this message out. So we want to take the brain from being that storage and taking events and really just storing events from the past, and we want to start using the brain to map out the future, right? We have to teach our bodies emotionally what the future will feel like ahead of the actual experience. Let me give you an example. I've been working to clear my debt, right? I just paid all my debt off. But now I'm sitting back like, all right, I got to wait for my credit to reflect so I can go qualify and buy a house. And I keep looking at my credit, so waiting on the changes to take place. And I'm thinking about the house. I literally, you know how when you walk in a room for the first time and you just smell the wood and the paint? That's how I can smell my new home right now, and I won't get it until a year from now. I can smell it, bro. I can smell what my new home will look like. I know how my son's gonna be running through his room. I know the facial expression of the real estate agent when we're having this conversation about, hey, thanks, everything's done, blah, 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 dipping, right? So close your eyes and rehearse the actions of what you want. The brain doesn't know the difference between imagining and experiencing. All right, one more slide, and my son, he finna come in here. And, come on. Go straight to the restroom, and we about to go, okay? All right, but I'm on this, so don't say too much, okay? Go to the restroom, okay? So then the last thing, guys, I'm gonna review this again. We want to rehearse the actions of what we want, right? Again, we want to close our eyes and we want to imagine the future. We don't want to keep thinking about the past. Yo, if you missed it from the beginning, I started with telling everybody, when you wake up, what do? You automatically think about the past. The brain has been recording events of the past. When it feels an emotional connection to something, it takes a snapshot and calls it a memory. If we continuously think about the past, we are living in the past. If the past governs our emotions and our feelings, we are living in the past. We can't get anything done in the past. We have to focus on the future to be what? The creator of our worlds. The creator of our worlds. Instead of saying, they did this to me, they the reason I'm late to work, they the reason I'm overweight, they the reason I'm unhappy, I don't know what to do, my family don't love me, blah, 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 blah. We need to get to thinking, we need to get to telling ourselves, my thinking and my feelings are changing the outcome of my life. My thinking and my feelings are changing the outcome of my life. From thinking about the past, I'm going to keep living the past. But deeper than that, the past, every frame of the past is building my future. Instead of closing our eyes and using the same synaptic cord to wire positivity, using the same synaptic cord, using the same circuitry to wire and map out the future instead of the past. It's something we got to think about. So to close, my thinking and my feelings are changing the outcome of my life. Well, don't wait for external forces for internal happiness. Don't wait for external forces for internal happiness. Don't wait for external forces for internal happiness. Don't wait for success to feel empowered. Don't wait for wealth to feel abundant. Don't wait for your new relationship to feel loved or for healing to feel whole. Now, why do I say that? Well, you have to rehearse your happiness. You have to map out, create the future instead of thinking about the past and living in the past, right? So once we rehearse our happiness, we map out our future, and we install what I call happy software, right, in our mind. So the moment you start feeling abundant and worthy, instead of waiting for success to feel empowered or waiting for wealth to feel abundant, the moment we start feeling abundant first, we generate wealth. We need to look at what, instead of cause and effect, what's causing the effect. So Again, we need to start feeling abundant and worthy so we can generate the wealth. We need to start feeling empowered so we can generate the success. We need to start feeling whole so we can generate the healing. No one on here can make me feel whole. No one I can call can make me feel whole. I feel whole within, and then I heal myself. I'm already whole. I just need to be healed. I'm whole. You can't make me whole, but I need to be healed, right? So it's the same thing. So your thinking changes the outcome of your life, people. Believe you're the creator and create. Don't believe you're the ultimate all high creator. I get so many people filling me up. Oh, I don't want to hear that. Believe you're the creator of the outcome of what you're going to do when you get out that bed every morning. And go create. Again, you won't understand anything I'll be talking about. I hate this was not working because look, I made a really nice PowerPoint for you guys. Here, I'll click play because it for some reason it plays really fast. But, I really made a nice PowerPoint for you guys. And it won't let me play it. So next time in the future, we'll be able to do little cool things like that. But I don't know what happened. Here, I'll start here. It'll just speed through. But anyway, guys, so once I get this thing to work, I'll be able to show you guys my screen and you'll be able to look at this. But like I said, to understand anything I have going on with you guys, the first thing you have to understand, my friends, is you have to understand your mind. We're not talking about the mind. We're not talking about self-care all that much. What we're talking about is how to battle and deal with this world. But before we deal with that, before we do that, you got to understand the mind. Hey, again, share this video to somebody that you know. Give me a thumbs up on the way out. I love y'all, man. I really appreciate y'all rocking with me as long as y'all have. You guys have definitely shaped the way I deal with social media and things like this. I've had so many people come to me and tell me, hey, I see that you finally got that. And it makes me think, oh, I forgot I even told people I was interested in getting something like that or that I was seeking this. And I just be working on my goals and crushing my goals with you guys. So I definitely, please send it. Yeah. All right, you sent your email? Yeah, I'll send it to you. For sure, I'll send it to you. But, I crush my goals with you guys. And I like hustling with people. I like making money with people. I like reaching pinnacles and level of success with people. And I'm not just saying that, I really feel like I do that with you guys because a lot of y'all have been rocking with me for so long. That being said, we're going to try to grow this platform. We're going to try to talk about certain topics. We're going to try to really be an ecosystem and a family for each other so we can deal with this. I felt like it was so much I had to say before COVID really took over the United States because I was seeing certain things and I was talking to certain people in different countries and I was hearing about how it was basically moving to the West. And if I would have really used my platform, I think I could have made just that many more people prepared for this event. Or could have went viral and exposed it before it happened. You never know. But, I really want to do the right thing. I want to help as many people as I can. And once you know something, you have to share it. I feel like that's a part of understanding the evolution of the mind. I feel like you have to share information. So we're going to dive deep into information. We're going to share certain topics. But again, you won't be able to understand anything if you don't understand the mind first. That being said, I love y'all. Y'all have a great weekend, man. I took off. It's Friday. And I'll see y'all soon. Peace. All right.